Have you ever gotten all of your food prepped and ready to go for dinner, only to go out to the grill, try and light it up and realize that you're out of propane? Trust me, I've been there and it is not a fun feeling. So today I'm gonna walk through a few simple ways that you can check your propane tank to make sure you never run out of propane at dinner again. Let's check it out. Welcome to the Bark and Bite. My name is Brandon Baker of Black Dog Barbecue, and today I'm teaming back up with Charbroil Grills to show you 3 simple ways to check your propane levels. Now, propane is probably the most popular fuel source for backyard barbecuers, and there's a few reasons for that. Number 1, it's going to be affordable. Then 2, it's easy to hook up, and then also the fuel time that it gives you, you can cook for about 18 to 20 hours on one propane tank. And that's all great as long as you have propane in the tank. Now, the tank that I'll be using today's tare weight is 16.6 pounds, but that doesn't include the weight of the propane. And so the weight of the propane is going to be listed on the bottom of the propane tank or near the bottom of the propane tank, which is typically about 15 pounds of propane. So all in all, when you consider the total weight of both the container and the propane itself, a full tank's generally gonna have somewhere between about 30 and 32 pounds of total weight when you get a full tank at the store. Now, the 3 most common ways to check propane levels at home are gonna be to use a gauge, which my Charbroil Pro Series 3-burner gas grill does have with it. Then also weighing the propane tank is another option you have, as well as the third option, using hot water, what's known as the hot water trick. Now, with the hot water trick, it's really pretty straightforward. All you need to do is take a glass of warm water. It doesn't have to be boiling, just a warm cup of water you can get from the sink, and you're gonna pour that down the side of the propane tank. Now, once you've done that, you're gonna run your hand down the side of the propane tank where you poured the water, and if it feels warm, that's where the tank is empty. So think of it as warm equals empty, and if it starts to feel cold, that's where you can tell your line of propane is in the tank. So if it's warm at the top and it doesn't start to feel cold till you get closer to the bottom, maybe it's time to start thinking about refilling that propane tank. Now, like I mentioned, the second way to check those propane levels would be to weigh it. So all in all, when you consider the weight of the tank and then the weight of the propane in the tank, it's gonna be somewhere between 30 and 32 pounds. So as you can see on the screen, I'm gonna be putting this tank on the scale and it's falling right in that range. Now, finally, I'm gonna show you the gauge method. And like I mentioned, this is a part of my grill. A lot of the times it's not. Some of your newer models are having them more often now, though. You can always go and get one of these gauges at the store if you'd like and add it so you can measure that propane level. What I will say about these is they are more of a rough estimate than the other 2 methods, so you can see it go from green all the way to red pretty quickly, so just make sure you're keeping an eye on it there. Now, as you can see, I'm showing you the gauge unconnected just because I can't get the angle of the camera in here to show it if the propane tank was connected, but again, you want this to be on green, whereas if it gets closer to that red level, you know you need to refill the tank. Now, finally, as more of a bonus tip, I do always recommend having an extra propane tank at home on the side, just in case that you need it in an emergency if you do run out. I've been there before, it happens, and it's better to be prepared with that backup than have nothing there and trying to figure out how you're gonna get dinner on the table. Prices have started to go up, so they're anywhere from about $58 to $65, depending on where you live, to buy a whole tank. But once you refill them, they're just somewhere in the range of $19 to $23. So it's a pretty reasonable cost, but it's worth it just to have that tank on the side as extras. That wraps up today's video. Thank you again for stopping by. If you haven't already, make sure to subscribe to the channel. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a like and stay tuned as we put out more recipe and how-to videos moving forward. Until next time, happy grilling.